Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks. Good evening, everyone. Sam, thank you very much. Thanks for the kind introduction. But more importantly, thanks to you and to everyone involved in putting this incredibly important event together. Look, I'm here tonight. I'm so proud to be here tonight. You heard a lot about me in the introduction, but honestly, I am here really in one capacity that matters. I'm here as a proud Wolverine. As a graduate of both the University of Michigan and the University of Michigan Law School, and as someone who knows and understands what it means to tell you that it has been 1,459 days since Ohio State last beat Michigan in football. But it has been only 3 days since Michigan beat Ohio State for the third time in a row. I'm here as someone who has tried to live up to the title of Leaders in Best. That's what this place is about. Here in Ann Arbor, I met some of my best friends for life. I met my wife here. I love this university. And I have to say that not once during my 7 years on this campus did I feel unwelcome or under threat because I'm Jewish. So much has changed since October 7th, the deadliest day for the Jewish community since the Holocaust, when Hamas terrorists invaded Israel, murdered over 1,200 people, raping women, butchering babies, kidnapping innocent men, women, and kids. That traumatic day has stayed with me, as I know it has stayed with all of you. Adding insult to injury is that for many Jewish students here and around the country, but here at the University of Michigan, for many Jewish students, for the first time, this didn't feel like home. No one feels at risk in their home. Don't get me wrong. President Ono and many administrators here at U of M have been incredibly supportive and helpful. They've shown that they stand with the students, the Jewish students, and all students, and they've taken real and substantive action against students who harass, who intimidate, who threaten the Jewish community. They've taken action against students who invade university buildings. But that's not enough. And that's why we're here tonight. How can Jewish students at this campus, on this campus, feel safe when Jews face verbal attacks when they walk around campus? When posters comparing Israeli politicians to Hitler, a textbook case of anti-Semitism, are being put up across campus? How can Jewish students feel comfortable sharing their opinions in classes when university faculty members sign an open letter blaming Israel for the Hamas terrorists who stormed into Israel and slaughtered Israelis? When their professors excuse that slaughter of entire families and the rape of women simply because they are Israeli, and then turn around and teach that Israel has no right to exist. And now we have this referendum on the ballot, which takes many of those lies and it packages them up, puts them into one political statement, one that was prompted because President Ono rightly denounced and condemned a tragic terror attack, the one of October 7th. He rightly denounced it, and now there are students who attack the president for standing against terror. So all of you by this point, if you're here, you've looked at the referendum, you've looked at this ballot issue, you've seen the way that it's described. It seems, frankly, when you read the description, it seems reasonable. But we have to take a look at what it really is trying to do. The effort to put this resolution to a vote has been built upon a series of lies. It's a series of lies whose purpose is simple. The goal is to get rid of the one Jewish state in the world. And the goal that is being pursued, that has fueled so much hatred on this campus, the lies that have been used by professors to justify the actions of Hamas, an internationally recognized terror organization, and the lies that cause students supporting Israel to feel threatened and Jewish students to feel at risk simply because they're Jewish. So I think it's really important for you, for the leaders that you are, for the role that you play on campus, to understand what those lies are. So let me just quickly go through them. The resolution claims that Israel is an apartheid regime which ignores the fact that more than 50% of Israelis are people of color, that there are nearly 2 million Arab citizens in Israel who enjoy full legal rights, and that there are Arab members of the Supreme Court in Israel, Arab members of the Knesset. That's lie number one. The resolution also says that Israel is engaged in settler colonialism. Settler colonialism, that accusation dismisses the fact that the Jewish people's connection to Israel goes back 3,000 years. That there's been a continuous Jewish presence in Israel for millennia through the Romans and the Greeks and the Crusaders and the Ottoman Turks and the British until the United Nations created the state of Israel. The resolution also says that there are millions of people. Well, let me raise this first. It says that Israel is a colonialist enterprise. A colonialist enterprise. Probably lots of you have classes you've learned about how colonialist powers work. It's when a country sends someone to colonize another place, ignoring what I just said about the presence of Jews in Israel, but also advancing the classic anti-Semitic trope, the classic idea that it was the Jews that somehow sent people, ignoring the connection between Jews and Israel, sent people to Israel to take over a country that they did not live in. That's lie number three. And the fourth lie, the resolution says that there are millions of people undergoing genocide in Gaza as we speak. On the surface of this lie, we have modern-day blood libel, that Israel's trying to wipe out the Palestinian people, obscuring the fact that Israel is engaged in a war of self-defense, that Israel is doing exactly what any country in the world would do in the face of the terror attack that claimed over 1,200 lives, and an enemy that continues to say that it would conduct more October 7ths over and over and over again. And by twisting that definition of genocide, there's an added benefit. The lie dismisses and distorts the very real genocide, the attempted efforts to annihilate the entire Jewish people, the entire community in the Holocaust. So we know that this resolution is full of lies, but before I go, let's think about what this vote is about. This vote is a referendum on whether the University of Michigan will validate these lies. The lies about Israel, the lies about the Jewish people, whether the University of Michigan will validate those who deny that the Jewish people have the right to self-determination as any other people in the world does. But it is much more than that. This vote is a referendum on whether the University of Michigan will continue to be a safe and inclusive environment for Jewish and pro-Israel students. This vote is a referendum on what kind of institution this university will continue to be, whether the university will continue to be a leading institution in higher learning in which every group is heard and respected, or whether it becomes an institution where people are allowed to be silenced and others are allowed to bully them into submission. And finally, this vote is about whether Wolverines will live up to the legacy of this great university or lose sight of the ideals that are the benchmark of the University of Michigan. Voting no on AR 13-025 does not mean that you are against Palestinians or the Palestinian people. You can, I would argue, should be both pro-Israel and pro-Palestinian, seeking a two-state solution that advances sovereignty, prosperity, and security for both peoples. Voting no is a rejection of hateful resolution, one filled with lies that seek to delegitimize and destroy the one Jewish state in the world and deny the Jewish people the right to that same sovereignty, prosperity, and security. Voting no tells your Jewish and pro-Israel friends that they are welcome at this university. It tells them that you hear them, that you care about them, that all political views are respected here, and that the university, this university that we love will continue to be a forum for robust debate. And voting no is an affirmation that on this campus, truth still matters. And finally, voting no means that the University of Michigan will continue to be a place, it will continue to be an idea that we can all continue to love, that we can continue to strive to live up to being the leaders and best, that the values that form the basis of this institution are as strong today as they were at this university's founding in 1817, that we can continue to all, every one of us, no matter where we come from, can continue to be proud Wolverines. I'm so grateful to every one of you for making time to be here this evening, to learn more about what this is really about, to understand what's really at stake here. I thank you for everything that all of you are doing, not just for yourselves, not just for your friends, not just for the Jewish community, but I thank you for everything that you are doing to help lift up the University of Michigan at this moment when it needs all of you. My message to you as I leave is very simple. Vote no, go blue. Thank you very much for having me this evening.